Hi, everyone.
Sorry,
and welcome to the
we were
Movie
muted.
Couple Live.
We were muted.
We were muted. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not anymore, though. Hello, everybody. Like Dustin said, welcome to Movie Couple Live. Happy Wednesday to all of you out there. And sorry for the late start, but we got a couple of fun things to talk about on today's show, and that includes a new cast member has been added to the Ahsoka live action series.
We're also going to be talking about how Nicolas Cage is going to be playing Dracula in the new Universal Renfield movie.
And there's going to be a new studio tour specifically focused on Game of Thrones, not in the US. So if you live in the US and you can't travel internationally, we get to travel to, I think it's Northern Ireland, but we'll get to that a little bit later in today's show. You guys, thank you so much again for hanging out with us. And before we start the show today, I just want to let you know that our reaction for episode 3 of Hawkeye is now up on our YouTube channel. If you want to go ahead and check it out, of course, only check it out after you've seen the episode. If you haven't watched the episode, you're going to be stumbling upon a lot of spoilers, and we don't want to be blamed for spoiling any sort of plot points or things like that for you. So make sure you watch it first on Disney Plus. I feel like we're a little
off center, but
I'll go fix it. I can't.
I know. It's always weird when it's just like not perfectly center and you're just like, why is this driving me nuts so much? Because it's one of those things that, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be focused on it the entire, and that's a little bit better. So with that said, should we go ahead and jump into our first topic?
Yes, let's dive right on in.
All right. So as you can see in the banner below, we have a new cast member added to the Ahsoka live action series that is coming to Disney Plus, which have not even begun production. As you can tell that they're still, casting and all this stuff, but it's very, very exciting. So the actress's name, she is from Pacific Rim Uprising. Her name, I'm gonna butcher it probably, so I'm so sorry in advance for saying her name wrong. Ivanna Sakhno, I believe is how it's pronounced. So she's been cast opposite of Rosario Dawson, who will be playing Ahsoka, as we've already seen her appearance in The Mandalorian. So there's really no clue, no word, no nothing other than speculation and theories on who Ivanna is going to be playing in the Ahsoka series.
Well, I think in the Deadline article, it actually does say that she's going to be playing a new character, someone that we have not yet met, which actually makes me super excited to hear that, it's not just going to be characters that we already know and love, but they're going to be introducing new characters into this Star Wars universe, which is always really fun. Yes. Because, that's what makes Star Wars so great, is the fact that the universe is huge, and I want to see more and more expansion, more and more characters, more different stories, and, kind of have just small little threads of connection that kind of do lead us back to the Skywalkers, to where we'll have Anakin leads to Ahsoka leads to this new character, and then this new character will lead us to someone else.
Yeah. So, I always enjoy when they expand on the universe, as opposed to, another callback to a character that we've seen, which we know. And that's not to say we don't enjoy seeing these characters come back. Having Sabine Wren in it, I think is really, really fantastic. Very excited. And having Thrawn and Ezra and all of those people, maybe even, a cameo from Rex would be really cool. But I think new characters will be cool as well. We essentially met a new character in the Ahsoka episode in The Mandalorian, who is the apprentice of Thrawn.
Yes.
It seems like. So that's really cool. I initially, without reading the Deadline article, I was thinking, could it be Ventress perhaps? Because we know that Hayden Christensen is in it via, well, we don't know if it's going to be via flashback or Force Ghost, or as Vader, or all of the above.
All of the above.
And it could be the same thing for if they were to have Ventress in it, if they were to go way, way, way back and explore what happened between her and Barriss. That'd be really cool too. But also I don't want to keep focusing on everything that happened in the past that we've already seen in Clone Wars or Rebels. Obviously, Anakin is really, really important, to her storyline, to see flashbacks for that. It's kind of different than seeing every single flashback turn into live action. So I'm very excited about this. Do you think she will be on the light side or the dark side, Ivanna?
Oh, good point.
Or
is she going to be with the First Order, or is she going to be more of a rebel, a part of the Rebel Alliance or the Republic kind of a thing. That is since we know absolutely nothing about her, she really can be anyone. She can be a bounty hunter, because a lot of the things that Ahsoka is probably going to go after are in the Outer Rim. So it might even be someone from a completely new species, because the last we saw of Ezra and Thrawn are the fact that they went really, really, really far away, so far away that they are completely off the radar, completely off the map. So it would make sense to have new races, not just new characters, but also like new bounty hunters, and to help her kind of track down these people.
Yeah.
And to find out exactly, because what's sad is, though, we don't have Ezra 100% confirmed for this, because I think they're trying to keep it a secret.
I feel like
we know it's going to focus around Thrawn, or else they wouldn't have dropped the name in The Mandalorian.
Correct.
So,
like, that would, how big of a tease would that be? Like, we're going to drop the name Thrawn, have all the fans freak out, and then, and this goes exactly in line with what we saw at the end of Rebels for Ahsoka's story. And then just to like not touch on it at all, period. Just be like, no, it's just we talked about Thrawn, and then we're going to go completely somewhere different. Like, so that would be, I'd be disappointed, because they set the name, like they dropped it.
Yeah.
So I like what Blade GTR is saying here in the chat. Opposite Rosario Dawson, what is the opposite of ex-Jedi? Possibly a Sith Inquisitor.
Oh,
potentially.
That would actually be something that I would love to see, that kind of a story arc.
Yeah.
Say someone that was Force sensitive, that was kind of recruited, if you could ever be recruited by the Sith kind of a thing, because either it's join us or die, and you're like, you know what, your side sounds really good at this moment, I'll join you. But then once the Empire is gone, you're like, oh, thank God, I don't need to be evil anymore. I can go and pursue my own endeavors, and now I've had all of this training. True, it's all in the dark side, but maybe like an Inquisitor that has been pushing down all of their like PTSD of having to do all of these evil things. And then finally, now that they can kind of go out and be their own person, they're like, I would love kind of like what in Jedi in Star Wars Visions, the duel, where you had that one guy, that Ronin with all the red and he's going around trying to hunt down all of the other Inquisitors.
That might still be my favorite Star Wars Visions episode.
Yeah.
From all the ones we've seen so far. We haven't finished because we get so busy with 50 million other things pulling us in all the different directions. But I would say that one, and then The Ninth Jedi would be the next one.
Yes, that one's really good.
Excellent.
But I have to admit, one of the things that's making me the saddest about this is that they don't even start production until March.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want this now. But of course, I wanted it ever since they first announced it.
I'm just so happy that the Ahsoka live action, just the character coming into live action, looked as good as it did. I remember, I do remember, because she's like, it's makeup heavy.
Yes.
Because those Montrose, even if you do like foam, prosthetic foam, it's still going to be heavy. It's still going to be different than a wig, because it'll move with you, but then you have to learn to move in a different way. And Ahsoka is a Jedi, so as we saw already in The Mandalorian's, action heavy. So I wonder how many prosthetics Rosario Dawson goes through in a day, because it wrinkles. Like, as you sweat and everything, it's going to start to affect foam prosthetics. Like, my experience with foam prosthetic was just not full face. I would say like almost kind of like Buffy Vampire Slayer here for The Walking Dead, which I know it's vampire and zombies are not the same thing, but it reminded me of it. And then for Grinchmas, we had a little who knows it kind of came like this, and then it came all the way down to right here, and then covered the upper lip, because the Who's had different lips and stuff like that.
That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, wrong button.
I gotcha.
Thank you very much. Wendy's a lot more tech savvy than I am. But that's also something I'm also curious on, why, if they could kind of pull off, instead of actually doing like the heavy makeup, to kind of do like green and then kind of be able to CGI them in to give her a little bit more freedom. But yeah, that's a
lot of post-production.
That's a lot of post-production.
Yeah.
But I'm also I'm super excited about this series. This is one of the series that I was probably the most excited for when they did the big announcement out of the next generation of Star Wars Disney Plus shows. But I'm also curious on whether or not this is kind of going to end up being Rebels season whatever the next season
like
of
a
Rebels.
spin-off, because Rebels isn't just about Ahsoka. It really is about the crew of the Ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is, Hera and
I want to see Hera in this too.
And I kind of wish we can still get Kanan in this, but look, I think Hera, it's not out of question to have Hera make maybe one appearance. Just have for her to fly in and save the day. I think that'd be kind of cool. But again, I don't know, because we're all speculating. We really don't know too much about the series other than who's already been confirmed to cast, the storyline that we think it's going to go. But either way, I'm excited. I welcome the new character. I can't wait for them to reveal to us in the show exactly what. Are you okay?
Yeah, there's more bots popping up that I'm just trying to attack.
Just say that next. Yeah, just
I was trying to block them on my phone and trying to be like,
could you do it or no?
Kind of. I can report them and I can but it doesn't actually get rid of it unless I go through each and every single one of them.
You're supposed to be able to have permission, but in any case, sorry about the bots, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. We are excited for Ahsoka. We're excited for new characters to come. Sorry for looking and being a little distracted when there's bots in the stream. We don't get them too often, but just get a life, guys. All right.
And Black Loki, just so you know, this shirt that you are admiring was a gift from my beautiful wife.
Actually,
you gave this to me. You gave the
but I didn't buy it.
Well, I know, but it's still a gift that you gave me.
Yeah, I brought it home from when I was at Collider. Christian Harloff actually had a bunch of shirts. He's like, hey, he would bring them in. He's like, hey, you want some? And I was like, okay. And I looked through them and I was like, that's cool. So I brought it home to Dustin. I don't know where he got it. I feel like it was in one of those loot crates, but I don't know for sure.
It definitely falls into that category where it's a big mashup between the Incredibles. I almost said the Inconceivables, but the Incredibles and Princess Bride. And I just love this I think it's one of my favorite shirts.
Amazing. You haven't worn it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We have this next chat from, actually, let me go ahead and put up this. Chris, thank you so much for your donation via Super Chat. Thank you so much. Chris writes, with the Mortal Kombat film adaptation not doing that well, who would your dream cast be if you were in charge of a new film? Well, I'll tell you right now, I am keeping Joe Taslim.
Yes.
And I'm keeping, oh God, I can't ever say his name correctly, so I'm going to look it up.
Honestly, most of the characters and of the actors that they had in this movie weren't bad choices for certain characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't change much of the casting. I think I would probably, one of the things that I would really work on is the script, focus the first movie, not solely, but a lot more heavily on Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because everything with them was superb. I loved it. I thought it was great. We lost our picture.
Oh boy.
So
we're still here now. It's a podcast. It's okay.
It's okay. We go back and forth with that every now and again.
We're back.
But I think this I would probably want to recast Luke Cage. Oh, not Luke. Luke Kane. I can't remember. For some reason, anytime I want to think of names, I'm terrible with them. But I would want to get a lot more martial artists who can act. And I think probably one of the big problems in this is that besides Sub-Zero and Scorpion,
you don't replace those two.
No, those two did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And their story was very well written.
I actually enjoyed Jax. I like Makad Brooks from back when he was on Supergirl, so I think he fits in. And we also can't replace let me see if I can find it here. Is he not on here? Who's the guy who has
Liu Kang, Kung Lao. Those are the two that I really wanted to switch up. Because I thought I don't want you to switch out Liu Kang
because I like Ludi Lin. He's the Black Power Ranger. I like him a lot.
Maybe it was just the dialogue too, because sometimes it's not the actor's fault.
Correct.
Sometimes it's the direction. Sometimes it's the dialogue, which I think was pretty bad. But I think Kung Lao needed to be changed up.
And again, I don't think it's the fault of the actors. I think it's the way they edit it, and I think they really focused on trying to give the fans what was so iconic about the video game that it didn't mesh with like the first 10 minutes of the film when we went into the backstory of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and that was so good, and then everything else, the vibe just felt really different. So I wanted the stake to be higher. I felt like it was, with Cole Young, which I don't mind them introducing a brand new character that's not in the game at all. Like if you want to take a liberty and make it kind of your own, but keeping the, I guess following the rest of like the origin and the source material, that's fine. I don't have a problem with Cole Young at all, but I felt like they didn't develop his character. I felt like they all of a sudden ran out of time because they were focused on this person's got to have their iconic line and fatality from this film. And fatality is great, but I didn't want it to be in there just to be in there. I wanted to be in there because it showed purpose. And I felt like it was shoehorned in because it had to be in there because this will make the fans happy. And it's like, we'd be happy with like, if you just chose specific moments, like those would be really cool. And I think that's why some parts of the movie worked, other parts of it really didn't. But don't you dare recast Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So
but I also really like what Ruru 2 is saying, is the fact that you're just like, Warriors TV show has lots of actors that can fight. Just bring that whole cast over. Just bring everyone in that movie into the new into the new Mortal Kombat movie, and you'll
copy paste and then change it to Mortal Kombat and give them the costumes.
Mortal Kombat Warriors.
Oh god, that show's so. You still haven't watched.
I've watched a lot of it. I haven't watched all of it.
I can't wait.
But yeah, it is from what I have seen, it is an amazing show, and I think that's something that they really need to do. I mean, you have to be able to separate a little bit from a game like Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Because a part of it is its cheesiness. But I think if you kind of do what they did in the beginning, where you kind of grounded the characters and you gave them this nice backstory, and maybe not have all of the characters. Maybe
the lizard guy. No.
Oh, Reptile.
No. The Aussie.
Huh?
The Aussie guy who has like beef with Sonya Blade.
Oh, you mean Kano?
Don't recast him either.
I thought
he's great. Sorry.
I think you can pick a few characters that would do really well.
Kano wins.
Where you can add that cheesiness. Kano wins. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant, and just the right level of cheesiness. So, but it's one of those things. It's a balancing act between how much do you keep it serious and how much cheesiness do you add, and how much can you really get away with.
Yeah.
So it's less of the actors. It's more of the script and the dialogue.
Absolutely. And before we kind of go back into our news flashes and topics, I kind of want to answer this question because I know we haven't done like a reaction or review. Well, we wouldn't do a review of it, but we do a reaction to it. We haven't done it because the video is like 5 minutes long. But did you get to see the prologue for the Jurassic Park?
Actually, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's 5 minutes.
I know you saw it.
It's just like, because we had to talk about it on Pop Council this past Monday, but it's dinosaurs. It kind of goes back, 65 billion years. Dinosaurs and how they, roam the world, rule the world, and everything like that. And I felt like it needed to be its own thing, like a 10-minute just voiceover with David Attenborough.
Yeah.
But then we flash forward into 65 billion years later. You got Chris Pratt in a helicopter, dinosaurs, wreaking havoc at a drive-in. It just got me kind of excited because I didn't love the follow-up to Jurassic World. I didn't love it. It just didn't. It didn't. I like the first one was okay. I obviously think the original is the best one.
Oh yeah.
But I would say for like the new generation of it, the first one was fine. The second one was like I felt like they lost sight of what it was gonna be, and I don't know, because they focus so much, I think, also on the relationship between Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, or the non-relationship that was happening, that I felt like it kind of took away from that. And then there was the weird cloning thing at the end.
And they started cloning humans.
I don't know. It kind of just lost me. I was like, I mean, okay. But watching the 5-minute prologue got me a little bit more excited to kind of jump back into the world, make me look forward to Jurassic World Dominion. So we'll have Dustin watch it, and we'll probably talk about it on the next live stream after he's seen it. But thank you for your question.
And we have one more super chat.
Thank you so much from Mr. Domez.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gomez.
Who writes, "Hey, appreciate your channel reactions and discussions. Only got into Marvel/MCU with WandaVision this January, but have been hooked ever since. I'm so glad you are hooked on WandaVision. WandaVision, I think to date, is probably my favorite. I can't speak for you, but it's probably my favorite Disney Plus MCU show. Because
it's up there.
It's just one, it was fun to film the reactions and talk to you guys about the theories and Mephisto and how it never happened and the reveal and the whole Quicksilver and not Quicksilver. What do we call him? I know his name is Ralph Boner, but what was oh God, what is his name?
Oh, the actor?
No.
Or no.
Character.
Oh.
Brother's name.
Oh.
Wanda's brother's name.
Oh. Gosh, why am I Pietro?
Yeah,
Pietro.
Fake
Pietro. That's right.
Pietro. So I just really enjoyed watching that, and just watching Elizabeth Olsen act is just amazing, because we definitely got teary-eyed in a few episodes. We have one of those iconic lines from Vision. What is grief if it's not love? Persevere. I'm saying it wrong, but that's the gist of it. Such a good show. And not to say that all the other Disney Plus shows are poo-poo, because they're not, and we love them, but that is the top ranking one for me. Hawkeye is turning out like episode 3 was lit. It was really good. We're not going to talk about it. Yeah.
Everything came around in episode 3, where the relation started to grow a little bit better between Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I love that one action scene. I thought it was amazing. They gave us just enough.
2Fan, yes, it's out. It's out. Don't worry, we're not going to do spoilers. You guys, please don't spoil in the chat. We're going to talk about it on Saturday with full spoilers. So make sure you guys watch it before then, and then come back on Saturday, because we're going to talk about it for sure.
And speaking of fellow spoilers, in the chat we have Late to the Party.
Late to the Party, ayo.
And the bots.
Hawkeye is so fun. Are they back?
Yeah, they hopped right back on in.
Super fun, guys.
Well, we'll tackle them in just a second.
Yeah, we'll
but
tackle them
Late
in
to the
just a
Party,
second.
thank you so much for stopping by.
And make sure you check out Late to the Party as well. They also do reactions. Robert and Vanessa work very hard editing reactions and reviews. And I think they're really close to hitting 100,000, I think. So go ahead and give them support. I think Dustin's doing the...
I'm trying to take care of the bots right now.
Okay, cool.
All
right.
By blocking and reporting.
Block and report. So let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which I didn't have written down because I didn't have time to build the show this morning because I was too busy doing 50 million other things. So I'll just say it. Nicolas Cage will be playing Dracula in Universal's Renfield movie. When Dustin said it, I was like, in the what movie now? I think I should have said, play who now? Dracula.
Honestly, when I first saw this, when I kind of was scrolling through our Discord, and I think it was Debbie or Star Drew or that posted it in the Discord. I'm not 100% sure if someone else did it. I did not mean to give credit to someone else, but when I was scrolling through it, I was like, Renfield movie. Oh, Nicolas Cage is going to play Renfield. I thought that would be a really good casting.
Oh God.
But because, Nicolas Cage kind of plays that wild, crazy, kooky character a lot.
He's great at it.
And he's great at it. I love in the article, it talks about how Nicolas Cage has, deliberately stepped back from big budget movies because he wants to be able to have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more room to breathe, a little bit more, hey, can I try it out this way kind of a thing. And then when I was reading more into the article and it says, no, he's going to be Dracula. And I'm like, oh.
That was kind of my reaction too.
Okay.
I can't hate on it either, though.
Yeah.
I can't be like, ugh, poo-poo. I can't do that.
And what's weird is that they're going to have Nicholas. Oh shoot, what's his name? Nicholas Hoult. Who played
the Beast?
Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. And a part of me is kind of like, I would have preferred to see these two roles flipped, to kind of have a young, powerful kind of Dracula character and having an older, kookier kind of Renfield. But this is going to be, I'm going to say, interesting. I kind of saw this and I was just I'm very curious because Universal Studios Monsters has been trying
what are they calling it? Dark Universe?
The Dark Universe. They have been trying to get this off the ground multiple times. And they hit it out of the park with what is it called? The Invisible Man. And then the pandemic hit.
That was the last movie we saw in theaters, like not at a press screening, but just a regular showing before everything closed down. And I remember I was already like a little bit worried. I didn't have my mask on or anything like that, but there was somebody off to the right kept on coughing, and I'm like, you hold that.
Hold that in. But yes, Blade GTR, I also love the reference to Dracula Dead and Loving It. But he's quoting DJ Night 17. Oh yeah, Renfield eats bugs, but in Dracula Dead and Loving It, he was trying to cover it up. It goes, oh no, it was a raisin. It was a raisin.
Oh my gosh.
But to see them kind of start maybe going in a different direction with Universal Monsters, instead of doing these huge, big budget movies like they did with Dracula Reborn and with The Mummy, which both of those movies cost like $200 million.
Yeah.
However, The Invisible Man only costs $7 million. So
just hire Elizabeth Moss to be in your movie and it'll be a hit.
There's talks about making an Invisible Woman sequel. So it would make sense because she now has the suit.
She's got the suit.
And I'm sorry, I was going to say something that would have been definitely a spoiler.
Yeah, but it's like 2 years ago.
True. But we know that she knows how to use the suit. So I've been wanting them to do this. I've been wanting them to succeed on getting a dark universe going. It's just the fact that they do really have their work cut out for them. Yeah. Every single horror movie universe has had its difficulties, kind of a thing. Even with, what is it called? The Conjuring. They've had a few good Conjuring movies. They've had some very not good Conjuring
the
movies.
Last one, the newest one, The Devil Made Me Do It, feels the least. I feel like when I watch it, even though Lorraine's very much present in that one, I still feel that it felt less like a Conjuring movie and felt like just a standalone with the I can't think of their last names, but with them in it.
Yeah.
But I did like I think I liked the first two a lot, the first two Conjurings. So, but yeah, with Nick Cage, here's the thing is he's become an actor who you ask him to, I think he just enjoys diving into a character and tell a story. Also, if you haven't watched Pig with Nicolas Cage, go ahead and give it a watch. You're kind of like, what is it about? Just Look it up. I don't know if it's streaming somewhere, but it's a good film. I would suggest watching that.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around that movie for him.
Yes. Let's see. Wasted Post says it's weird in a good way, with even despite all the crap Nick Cage has made and how much of a meme he's become, he still has some pull and excitement surrounding his new projects. That's when you know you've got a movie star. That's a Hollywood movie star right there. Like you don't even need to research the movie. Some people, there's Nick Cage fans out there. It's like, oh, he's in it, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Nicolas Cage is sometimes such a wild card. You don't know if it's going to be an amazingly awesome performance or a what the hell kind of performance. So it's always kind of fun to go into a Nicolas Cage movie and sometimes having no idea what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, that's true. And thank you so much to Steve for putting this in the chat. Deadline reports Awkwafina is also joining the cast of Renfield, but her role was not revealed yet.
So you know what? It looks like they might actually be going for a little bit more of a comedy on this. Because
Awkwafina is funny.
She
can get dramatic, but she's very funny. She's very funny.
What was her TV show that she did? That was
Nora from Queens.
Nora from Queens.
Yeah.
I'm like, that one looked. I mean, even though it's about her life, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it looked super serious. It looked like it just was very heartfelt.
Yeah. And also, if you think she can't act, watch The Farewell.
Oh, she's excellent. That one was good.
Yeah. That movie will make you boohoo though. So just be warned going in, you're gonna boohoo. And hey, before we move on to the next topic, I want to go ahead and shout out Marvin Martin for sending in a super chat. Thank you so much. And here is what Martin is recommending. And if you're new to our channel, if you're first time here for one of our live stream, Marvin gives us a lot of really cool recommendations in new shows, in new YouTube videos, books, music, and etc. And today, this is what he is recommending: Red Balloon 56. Santa Claus 85, Christmas Star 86, Prancer, Zardoz, A Glory of Unicorns, Ariel, Unicorn, and E.E. Martin's The Warped Ones, and As We Break. Marvin, thank you so much for sending that in. Do you want to go ahead and check the door?
Oh, I know what it is. It's an Amazon package.
Oh, well then.
I can tell because it was coming up on my notification saying, oh, an Amazon package is about ready to be delivered.
Thank you, Amazon.
Thank you.
All right. Did you screen cap the thingies?
Oh, yes, I'm about to do that. I can do that from my phone and click.
Thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is, and I'm so sorry I don't have any graphics today, you guys. This is what happens when you stay up until 4:30 in the morning editing, and then because of your anxiety from editing, and you can't calm down enough to go to sleep, so you toss and turn in your bed for an hour before you actually fall asleep.
And then when you do sleep, you actually don't get that good of sleep.
You don't get that good of sleep. So next up, thanks, honey. Next up, for all the Game of Thrones fans out there, this is very exciting. So there's going to be an official studio tour that will be opening in 2022. You can explore the Seven Kingdoms, courtesy of Linen Mill Studios in Banbridge. I hope that I'm saying that correctly. Northern Ireland. So if you want to do a little international traveling, you want to like tiptoe your way into Westeros, and know that you won't be like, killed because it's pretend you're not in actual danger. Because that's like the one place, any fantasy place you want to visit, I'm like, maybe send me to Hogwarts. Maybe send me to like somewhere like.
Even though Hogwarts doesn't have that good of a record of their students dying.
Well, but I want to, maybe send me to Hogsmeade so I can just have butterbeer all day long.
With all of the students that got, what is that called? Love potion, poisoned, cursed, killed by a giant snake.
Yeah, that's true.
Petrified.
Possessed. Whatever it may be. But Westeros is super dangerous. But anyways, if you want to go and check this out, this is opening in 2022. Let's see. So the tour will immerse fans into the world of Westeros, showcasing sets, original props, costumes, and even more behind-the-scenes reveals from the iconic series. And let's see here. So some of the locations that will be featured on this tour will be the Great Hall at Winterfell, Daenerys' Dragonstone throne. I wonder if you're allowed to sit on it and make it a photo op. Like, I would imagine like you have to, get in line and take a photo.
Everyone would just bring a bottle of Lysol with them and then sit down like, I rule the Seven Kingdoms.
I can touch this and then I sanitize my hands. Let's see what else. So this is 110,000 square foot immersive experience will bring fans closer to the world of the Seven Kingdoms of Westeros. And this will serve as a backdrop. Linda Mill Studios will serve as a backdrop to a third of the 75% of the scenes. Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
A third. Whew. That was filmed in Northern Ireland, even though the series did shoot all over the world in different places. So let me see if they talk about anything else. Here's a quote from the Chief Executive Tourism of Ireland. Says, quote, "We're really excited about the opening of Game of Thrones studio tour at Linda Mill Studios, which will give fans of the show everywhere an extra special reason to book a trip to Northern Ireland in 2022 and beyond. Over the past decade, Northern Ireland has welcomed fans from around the globe to the real world Westeros, home to the stunning landscape, coastlines, and mountains that have been featured in some of the show's most memorable scenes." So right now, it's not really saying, it doesn't open to the public until February 4th, 2022.
Which is right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Like, what, 2 months away?
Yeah, so tickets go on sale. They're available already. So I'm just curious, and I want to see how much it is granted,
First, you have to
book the ticket.
Book the air flight tickets. Then you have to get a hotel. Then you have to get the tickets.
So
group tickets.
Should we look at group tickets first?
Oh, well, I think you're going to have big groups.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see for a group. Oh, no. I'm not in line. Why I don't want to be in line. I'm in line. I feel like I'm at Comic-Con. I got a little walking man. But it's one of the wolves. It's the Stark wolf. Oh God, I didn't want to do it this way. I have 10 minutes.
Maybe if you go back.
Let's go back. I just want to see the price.
I just want to see how much they are.
I just want to see the pricing.
But honestly, one of the things that I've always wanted to do was to kind of do a European trip.
Okay, here we go.
You start in Ireland, you go over to the UK, then you go down to like France and Germany and work your way up to like Norway and just kind of do like this nice little circuit of Europe, and just now we have a good starting point.
I know, that'd be so much fun. So individual tickets for adults, and this is in pound, $39.50 pound, not like 39.50, not not 3,950.
About 40 pounds.
So about 40 pounds. For a child is about 27. Infant costs them nothing as long as they're under 4. For students 16 and over, $31.50. For seniors, $31.50, and then there's family tickets as well, starting at $109. So obviously, this includes the admission ticket and a shuttle bus transfer to the studio tour. And I'm sure there's some sort of like package hotel deal that you can find as well. But this is exciting.
So so 39.5 pounds comes up to about $52.42.
That's not that bad.
No, that's not.
That's
for
not
a studio tour like that.
Yeah.
Normally those, run up a lot more. Maybe, maybe it's not as big as we think it is.
But it's a third of the 75. So here you can see the Hall of the Faces.
Cool.
The Crypt of Winterfell.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Let's see, the giant the dragon skull that's at there.
I'm wondering if this is just like a
King's
lot of
Landing.
photo ops kind of a thing.
Most experiences are these days.
Yeah, true.
So you want to be like, you want to feel like you're on set. You know what's going to make me feel like I'm really on set? A live dragon. All right? Just bring me a live dragon.
I want my dragon.
And when you say Dracarys, it'll go blah.
And spit out some fire. Yeah. Kind of have it like, what is it called? The Harry Potter dragon at Gringotts.
Yeah.
To where it's just standing there and have it like move its head a little bit and just go.
There's cool like green screen setups too, so you can kind of see how that worked and the giant rigs that's involved for CGI in a dragon that Daenerys sits on. They'll show you
really
makeup
cool
and
if you could get on the rig. Like if you paid an extra $20
ticket,
a VIP ticket where you can actually get on the back of the rig, and they will like give you like a 20-second clip of what it looks like you riding a dragon with the wind blowing in your hair. It looked like, because on the picture of the rig, they have these 2 huge, what look like jet fans that just, I'm assuming that's to blow air in your face to make it look like the wind's in your hair. Of course, my hair won't really show anything.
I was also looking at like what else is there available, and of course, me being me, I was thinking it's great. You're gonna be, feel like it's an immersive experience. You get all the photo ops, costumes, sets, and all this and that. It's great, but I was like, what about the food? Can they offer some food, Westeros food for you to buy? So I looked it up under Studio Tour Dining. So they have the Studio Cafe. And it's seated restaurant positioned at the center of the tour, blah, 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 blah. Something for everyone. Our menus are made using the finest local ingredients and designed to suit all tastes from firm favorites, ale battered fish and chips. I don't know if they had that at Westeros back then, like deep fried stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they had some kind.
So?
I mean, all you have to do is boil oil and have like some kind of batter and fish and drop it in there. Okay. So that might work. But this is something that says only food and drink purchased at the studio tour can be consumed on sites. Guests are permitted to bring their own reusable water bottles. Reusable bottles are also available to purchase at the studio tour.
Buy the merch. That's how they're making their money.
I drank water in Westeros.
But I don't know if it feels like it's Game of Thrones themed foods. That's kind of what I was hoping. Like, how when you go into a 346 at Harry Potter Land or the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you get, Harry Potter themed foods. Like, are we going to get some sort of themed? Doesn't really describe it on this article here on the webpage, but we'll further research into it if that's something Dustin and I will get to do in 2020.
There's actually a lot of different things that I want to do that are definitely geek related.
Yes.
And a lot of them are far away. I still want to go to that role-playing theme park. That's in Ohio. Oh, God, I've wanted to go there for so long, and I've forgotten its name and where it's at so many times. But I'll look it up. But I want to go there. I want to go see Hobbiton. I want to see the Shire in New Zealand. This sounds really cool to see. What?
Marvin says, is there an actual end and finish to this theme park, unlike the books? They won't finish it, but they'll make sure they give you the prequel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We get the prequel before we get the book finished. And, that is actually something I'm really curious about. I'm wondering why.
George R.R. Martin.
Thank you. I wanted to say I was doing like but yeah, why George R.R. Martin is like waiting to bring these out. I feel like he's had plenty of time to be able to do it, or if he's now trying to be like, okay, how can I change this up a little bit? Because they all saw it coming a mile away and still have it fit. How can I change this puzzle piece, the final puzzle piece in my masterpiece?
Well, once it's printed, you can't take it back. It's like the internet. Once you post things, it doesn't really disappear. So I think take the time that he needs to, give the end of the book. But I know fans are getting a little impatient because they've been waiting forever. Marvin Martin writes, a lot of fantasy. Why certain ones this impactful? For Game of Thrones, I think it's because the fan base for the books was already there.
Yeah.
And the first season of the show was just so well done.
Well, the first five seasons were just killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, everyone dies.
I'm going to root for the Starks. Oh.
No. I'm going to root for this. No. I'm not rooting for anyone anymore. But
don't like any character because they're going to die probably in the near future. And there were
so many moments that people were just like, oh my God. And like, what is it? Those videos that were on YouTube of the Game of Thrones bar, just watching all of those people's reactions were such a huge hit. And it's weird. It's also very, very difficult to be able to be like, well, I'm going to do this Game of Thrones book because I know it's going to be a huge success. It's impossible to tell what exactly is it about certain things that will just grab an audience and just pull them into a series and just love what it is, and will do everything to talk about it, to make videos on it, to do reactions to it, and post spoilers all over the place, kind of a thing. So it's really hard to say what it is exactly, but I think the writing, the acting, the direction for the first 5 seasons were just so amazingly good that
I think it's once that they ran out of the source material to guide them, I think that's where it happened, because the show's like, well, we got to finish the show somehow. We can't just hiatus the show until you finish writing this book. And writing is a process. So we'll see what happens with the book. Blade says, where is it? Morbid thought. What if George R.R. Martin has finished the books, but is waiting until he passes, and then has the books released upon his passing?
You know, that actually, honestly, because that's
it's not like he's short on money right now.
Yeah, he doesn't need the money.
Right.
And if he's finished with it and he's kind of like, you know what? Maybe he's just, there's certain feelings that he has about the way that they ended the show, and how that is kind of the way he was going to end it. But when you put it into book form, it could be so much more well done. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have to do, I'm just going to have it in my will that they will be released upon my death. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to keep them in a safe and give my lawyer the code and
power of attorney.
Yep.
Sorry.
And just be like, these are my babies, my masterpieces, and I don't want to hear anyone rip them apart. Kind of.
Yeah. So he literally doesn't have to like, you know, this is my pride and joy. This is my work, and enjoy and goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Kind of a thing.
Marvin
Here's
Martin,
my masterpiece. Peace out.
Marvin Martin writes, yet Robert Jordan did one a year. Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, for a while he did. There were some.
Well, then he got sick.
Yeah.
So I don't know how his release schedule was towards the end, but I was grateful that I was able to like meet him real quick.
Yeah.
And by meeting, I mean I snuck up to him when I shouldn't have. It's not like he was behind something. He was just standing off to the side after the panel, and I was like, "Are you Robert Jordan?" He's like, "Uh-huh." I was like, "Can you sign my book for me?" And then security's like, and he's like, "It's fine." It's like he's this tall and I'm this little. It's it's fine.
That picture that you got with him was super cute.
Yeah.
Because Wendy was like, hee! And yet, she's this size.
He's tall.
He was huge.
He's tall.
He was a big guy.
Yeah, really, really cool. Yasman 300, welcome to the stream. We're coming towards the end of it. We just got done talking about Game of Thrones, the studio tour that is going to be opening up in 2022 in Northern Ireland. But now we're about to move on to our final topic, which is, we haven't had time to talk about it, but Amy Pascal, and this is being reported by all the trades, Amy Pascal says Marvel and Sony are planning more Spider-Man beyond No Way Home. And, you know, she is like one of the main producers at Sony, which kind of, you know, we all, Dustin had this theory after watching the mid and post credit scenes for Venom and kind of taking a deep dive, I guess, into breaking down like the title of No Way Home. His theory was that, you know, the Marvel Sony collaboration was going to kind of start doing this, because they had mentioned it before already. Remember how they were like, we're not going to do anymore, and then finally they shook hands and everything was fine. But you know, we've also seen Sony starting to build their own Spider-Verse with Venom, and then Morbius. I don't even know where, because he mentions all of the above, right? All of the above, like Spider-Verse and stuff. So we thought that, you thought that maybe this was No Way Home was literally like taking it, Tom Holland's Spider-Man over to Sony exclusively without working with Marvel for future films. But this kind of squashes your theory altogether. Yeah,
it really does. Because now that we know that Spider-Man is going to be back and forth, at least going to come back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what they actually might do, which is a fun theory, is that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will kind of be jumping back and forth as kind of like the Spider-Man who is kind of like in the center of the web of all of these other Spider-Man. And all of these other ones are kind of like variants of the center Spider-Man. I'm hoping that they'll introduce Madam Web then. And they will kind of give it as Tobey Maguire's fate to kind of be able to skip in and out of these different alternate universes. Because we know that there's already so much talk of them having alternate universes. They're bringing in Doc Ock. They're bringing in Green Goblin from the other Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, Electro and everything. So, like everybody's coming back. Everybody's, you know, there's obviously still talks of like, are Andrew and Toby going to be in this? Obviously, we don't know. Like I think so. I hope so. But if they're not, then they're not. It's fine. I'm still gonna go and enjoy the movie. Which, by the way, let us know if you guys were able to get tickets. I don't know how I did it, but I got tickets. I know people were I tried a few different showtimes first. I wanted Dolby, I wanted IMAX. Those were sold out. I couldn't even click on the button because it just kept on doing the waiting, the loading ring, and I was like, you know, forget it. I'm just gonna get the regular, just no special screen, whatever, no recliner seat. It's fine. I just want to see the movie. I don't care. So with that said, let's see. There was something that I was going to read out loud. Oh, well, that's right, the article. So Amy Pascal says, quote, "This is not the last movie we're going to make with Marvel. This is not the last Spider-Man movie," which is good. And this was said during an interview with Fandango. She says, quote, "We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. We're thinking this as 3 films, and now we're going on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies." And I think because the decision they had to make it, right? Because Spider-Man is essentially a Marvel character. Disney owns Marvel. And so if you want to continue to have Spider-Man interact with all these other cool characters, you're gonna, and you want to, you know, get the audience from the MCU as well as the Sony Spider-Verse, you want to continue to work with Marvel since they have already built the relationship with the Tom Holland Spider-Man with the, you know, some of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I think also Sony would be really dumb if they ever gave up the rights. You know how like if you don't make movies for a certain amount of time, the rights expire and they go back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's how it would work with Spider-Man, but that's how it's kind of worked with some of the other stuff like X-Men. So and also Disney bought Fox, so there's also that problem that was
sooner
solved.
or later Disney might just buy you out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know at this point if they're allowed to acquire anymore.
I don't think they're. I hope not, because then they just become too big.
No. There's a rule. If you listen to the Bob Iger book, there was a lot of like they had to wait for the court's approval before they were able to purchase Fox because they needed to investigate and see if they were like just would kind of essentially have monopoly over too many things.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have that. Luckily it passed. But I think after Fox, I don't know if they could acquire another movie studio. They may be able to acquire pieces of like that's not movie centric or TV centric because they own too much. Like they own ABC, they own ESPN. And this is why for like the news segment of Fox, they didn't buy that because they already have ABC. So that was part of the ruling.
And technically, if they wanted to get Spider-Man back, they don't need to buy Sony. I think
they just talk to Sony. Hey, you want to make another?
Oh, no. More along the lines of like Sony can't turn around and sell the rights of Spider-Man to another studio because they bought the rights for them to make movies,
correct,
not to turn around and sell the rights.
Yeah.
I might be actually completely wrong on this though. But I would think that they wouldn't be able to do that. So all Disney would really have to do, if their main goal was to get Spider-Man back, would be just to wait it out, let Sony go under. If they were in that situation,
Sony's not going to.
They're not going to go under. There's no rumors of that whatsoever. Don't let that get started at all.
Yeah.
But they're not going to have to do what they had to do with Fox, I think, to buy it, or they won't be in that kind of position.
Yeah.
But it makes sense for both of these companies to be doing this. Marvel wants Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the top 5, I would have to say maybe even top 3 superheroes, popular superheroes of all times. So having them have access to him is great. And for Sony to have this connection to a hugely successful cinematic universe is just phenomenal as well, because then you can now use those characters in your movies, those successful storylines in your movies.
Yeah.
So it's very much a win-win for both companies.
Yes.
And I'm just glad that they were able to come to an agreement and be able to have this mutual, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And that gives us more of a chance to get more movies of Spider-Man, of Marvel and Spider-Man kind of a thing. So I just want more movies. Well, I want more good movies, kind of a thing.
Yes.
And when they're working together, that's what it seems like. You get good Spider-Man / Marvel movies.
Yes. And I'm liking what Debbie is saying here in the chat in regards to their release strategy for 3 films and then in the next 3 films. So she says the high school trilogy and now the college trilogy for, because the kids got to grow up. So we just got to see where they go after this film. Like, do the trio get to stay together? I know there's speculation that Ned, being Parker's best friend, kind of usually Peter Parker's best friend, usually go the route of they go villain.
You don't really want to be a friend of Peter Parker because it doesn't turn out too well for you. Look what happened to Harry Osborn. Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But that was also, his dad was a nut job. Norman, I'd have to say, is not the best father figure.
Yeah.
But we also do have a question from Marvin Martin at the very bottom. Same question, but only about superheroes. Same question. Oh, wait a second. What was his last question?
It was the why this.
Oh,
lots of superheroes, but why this one?
Okay,
why this one's impactful?
Well, why Spider-Man? I think what's really good about Spider-Man and what made Spider-Man so successful was the Peter Parker connection, was the fact that at the time, Peter Parker was just a dorky kid, was just this kind of a reject, didn't have any friends, was constantly bullied. And there were so many people, so many kids in high school who saw that and went, that's me. And it shows how important that representation is. When you have tons and tons of people that are able to look at a character and go, oh my God, I see my story. I see someone that represents me in my life. And it just made that huge impact. And then it just grew. And the fact that he's not your stereotypical, I'm a superhero kind of a thing. Spider-Man gets the shit end of the stick so often, and he really doesn't get treated like a superhero. He has J. Jonah Jameson bringing him down
the
his
media
neck.
is always like, Spider-Man's a villain.
Exactly. And there's so many people that hate him, but then there's also lots of people that love him. And so there's a lot of people who can connect with things like that, to where you feel like you're trying to do your best, but you're always just constantly getting beat down. But you still want to strive to be that good person.
Yeah.
And that is a storyline that is very central to Spider-Man. And I think it's just that connection that does very well.
Yeah. Just a relatable superhero with, superhero problems as well as everyday high schooler problems.
Yeah. I don't know how many people can connect with, Playboy, billionaire Playboy, genius Playboy, billionaire philanthropist as Tony Stark, or the brooding billionaire Bruce Wayne, or Thor, the God of Thunder kind of thing. Even though they're amazing characters and we love them, there's not that personal connection. We don't have oh my gosh, I remember I got picked on at school just like Peter Parker did.
Yeah. So, and then having that identity and that living the dual identity and having to keep a secret and and talk about teenage stuff crushes and things like that, and how do you make time for both superhero and Peter Parker school and home life. So I think that's what makes him really cool. For me, it wasn't even the comics. I didn't even get into the Spider-Man comics. The first thing I saw was the cartoon. I think everybody did.
Really good cartoon.
Kind of the same way I came into learning about X-Men. It was the cartoons, and then later on I was like, oh, there's a comic book, and then you kind of get into it from there. But yeah, I think that's why Spider-Man is one of the more impactful superheroes, iconic superheroes, and one I'm not afraid of because even though Spider is in its name. Yeah,
and that's also Leo. That's also a good point too about with Captain America. That's probably also a good reason why. I mean, a good connection with Captain America is that he was this little pipsqueak kind of a thing. But he wanted to be a good
all day.
person. And how many people wish that they could have like a super soldier serum, or how many people have actually let spiders bite them, so hopefully they can get
why would you do that to
Spider-Man.
yourself? It's fantasy, it's comic book.
But with our luck, we'd probably get the scientifically accurate Spider-Man.
Nope.
So it's what I mean. I think it just goes to show you just how important representation is in not just movies, but in stories, in all stories, and all comic books. So that's my personal reason why I think Spider-Man is just hugely popular. That, and he's really funny. I love the fact that he just teases and torments his supervillains while he's jumping around.
Yeah, I need him and Deadpool in a movie together for sure. Steve Caldron coming in with a bit of breaking news, who writes, Deadline reports Colby Smulders will reprise Maria Hill's role in Marvel series Secret Invasions. That actually makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because S.H.I.E.L.D. is a big part of Secret Invasion. So I'm excited to see that. And plus, Colby Smulders, she's awesome.
Great. Yes. We really enjoy her in both in the role of Maria Hill as well as her role in How I Met Your Mother. All right, guys, I think that is it for us for today's live stream. We have to be somewhere in a little bit this afternoon, and it's the first day of Vlogmas, so I got a couple of things that I need to continue to edit away, so I'm going to try to do that before we have to leave. But thank you all for being here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We'll have more live streams. We live stream typically every Wednesday and every Saturday. We've got the Hawkeye episode reactions that we'll be doing every Wednesday, so you can find that on the channel. And going all the way to the new year will be after Hawkeye ends. In just 3 more episodes already, we will get The Mandalorian. So if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe. And Vlogmas starts tonight. I think the first vlog, there's like a pre-Vlogmas vlog that I'm going to edit after this. And then the first actual vlog goes up tomorrow, if I can get the scheduling right. I don't know, it's a little weird in my head. So, and
hopefully later tonight I will be up on Twitch. Don't forget to check me out at twitch.tv/Darth Zany. That's Darth Zany. Thank you very much, Wendy. It's right down there. And I'm probably gonna be playing some Civilizations. Maybe check out a new game that I got off of Steam called Darkest Dungeon. It's the first one. Test out that game. But come on over. Chat some movies with me, watch me play some games, give me some helpful tips, because I'm a little rusty on my gameplay, and we'll have lots of fun.
All right, you guys, that's it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you very soon. Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.